right? Why did you start a children's book series? Like, who do you think you are? You ask great questions. Get into it. Hey everybody, my name is Tyone Patterson and I am the author of the Tamia T. Scott series. My children's book series teaches children vocabulary and sentences. So it's a great learning tool or resource that parents or teachers can use to help build their students or their kids' language and vocabulary, basically. So this is Tamia in the background. Fun fact, that's me when I was 7. She cute. Shout out to Nisha, for illustrating my series, my children's book series. We actually went to middle school and high school together, great friends. Hey girl. Hey girl. So yeah, that's Tamia. So basically my children's book series are for kids ages birth to 7 years old. It's never too early to start reading to your kids. You can actually start reading when they're in your belly because they can hear you. That's how they're able to recognize your voice when they're born. But the earlier the better. I always tell parents, you definitely want to, the earlier you expose them to books, the more they are, to be more engaged and interested in storybooks. So that's always a plus. I've actually read my storybook to kids over 7. Sometimes kids, their reading level or their comprehension is not at the same, they're not at grade level, so it's definitely flexible. I've actually read my book to middle schoolers as well. Sometimes it's important to go beyond the book. I know it's a basic, simple read, but I've turned my book into discussions. So we're talking about food. Everybody loves food, right? So why do you like strawberries? What is the texture? What is the flavor? What do you put anything on your strawberries? Do you like chocolate or caramel? Like, we can just go for days talking about food. So it's important to go beyond the book sometimes, right? So my first storybook is called Mima's Garden. So that's me and my grandmother, and we basically share different fruits and vegetables from the garden, and we're counting them. So much fun. My second book is called Hide and Seek with Malik, and that's me and my cousin, and we're playing hide and seek in the park. This book is great for learning prepositions, so very descriptive language. So like, for example, Tamia was hiding under the slide, or Malik was hiding, what was Malik hiding? Malik was hiding in the tree, right? So using descriptive language to describe where they were in complete sentences. So yeah. So this is my second year as a self-published author. And it's been a great journey. At this point, I've come to YouTube because whenever I do vendor events, people always tell me like, Tyone, your books are so great. You should really start like a YouTube channel, or you should turn your series into an animation. Like, people have so many great ideas, and I'm like, I should, my feet are just steady dragging along, honey. So I'm here. I made it to YouTube. So here's one step. So yeah, basically I'm at the point where I've sold my children's books to my friends. I've sold my children's books to my families, coworkers. I do vendor events, so some books to the community. So it's time to go beyond my reach. Like, you come to a point where if you want to take your book to the next level, you have to get outside of your comfort zone and, put yourself out there, be vulnerable. Like, who cares? It's a business and I believe in it and I know that it can go far. So hopefully if you're watching, I have books for you too. So yeah, that's basically where I'm at with it, going beyond my reach. So not only will I be promoting myself, my storybooks, but I also be like doing book reviews and giving you guys the point of view of a speech therapist, and giving you guys tips and strategies that you can use to help build your children's speech and language at home. So that's like kind of my niche. It makes my channel unique. I also would love to start doing interviews of different local self-published authors. That would be pretty cool, or illustrators, or even educators who are who have an expertise in like literature. That would be pretty awesome. I was thinking of maybe even doing like peer reviews, maybe doing evidence-based like giving you guys the summary of of significant outcomes of evidence-based research. That would be interesting. So we'll see. There's so many different things that I could do. So yeah, just hop on board, enjoy the ride. It'll be educational, it'll be fun, it'll be interesting, something different. I'll try my best. All right. So a little bit about me. I was born and raised in Los Angeles, California. I graduated from Prairie View A&M University in Prairie View, Texas. PV, yes. In 2014, my degree was in psychology, my undergrad. And then I graduated from Hampton University in Hampton, Virginia, HU. And my master's degree is in communicative sciences and disorders, which allows me to be a speech language pathologist, or people say speech pathologist or speech therapist. That's basically what I am. And I've been practicing for 4 years now. Time is flying and is not waiting for anybody. Yes, 4 years practicing, and it has been very, very amazing. I actually work in a school setting, and I provide treatment and I assess students who need support with speech and language skills, whether it's, saying certain sounds correctly, or they may stutter, or they may clutter, where they're speaking too fast, or language. Language is such a broad, language is super, super broad. So it could be, for example, me increasing their vocabulary, me expanding their sentences, helping them answer questions correctly, making predictions, problem solving. What else? There's just so many different things. Some social skills, so initiating a conversation, staying on topic, turn taking, so many different things. We'll be here all day, right? So that's just a glimpse of what I do as a speech language pathologist. And of course, all the fun things, all the paperwork and report writing and IEP meetings, we just love them. So yes. So let's get into my why, right? Why did you start a children's book series? Like, who do you think you are? You ask great questions. So basically during the pandemic, I was using a lot of storybooks during my sessions, of course, to help, increase vocabulary. And the books that I was coming across and finding, they were either too long or too wordy or just not relatable, right? Boring. Some of them, not all. But I just wanted to create a resource, create a storybook that was quick, that had great vocabulary, and that, represents myself, my family, and something, that represents African Americans. Only 12% of African Americans in children's books are main characters, and that's horrible. So I'm doing my part, okay? And we need you guys. And it's crazy, it's even lower for other minority groups. So 12 and under, we need you. Please write a book. please write a storybook for these kids, right? And it's interesting because, when I present the storybooks to them, they're interested, they're engaged, they ask questions. This little boy, he was like, to me it has cherries in her hair. And, he doesn't know. He doesn't come from, African-American culture or background. So I had to educate him. This is a great, discussion for us to have. Those are not cherries. Those are actually hairballs, right? And he was like, hairballs? Like, what's that? So just introducing them to, different content, something educational that they can learn from. So yes, representation really, it matters. It's important. Kids are able to identify, relate, and most importantly, engage and attend and add to the discussion, and that's what we want. We want something fun. We want something, that we find interest in, that we can relate to. Is super, super important, right? So also part of my why is just being a resource, right? So I went to college, I got the degree, I got the job. I've been practicing for 4 years now. So sometimes it's just important, at least for me, to go beyond myself, to go beyond my job, to stop focusing on self and be really a resource to others, because we need help. So many parents, especially during my IEP meetings, they always ask, Ms. Patterson, what can I do? And I always say, you can read. Like, you can read. Start a routine, a daily routine, a nightly routine where you're reading books to your kids, setting an environment that is positive for books, right? And you need to lead by example. If you are able to read, then, you know, they need to see you reading. And then not only that, you need to read with them. And a lot of times you don't even have to read the words every time. These are picture books. They have pictures in them. Talk about the pictures. What are they doing? What do you see in the sky? Is it a bird? Is it a plane? Like, what are they playing a sport? What are they eating? Do you like what they're eating? Like, there's, you know, just really dive into the books. And, you know, when I have went to different vendor events, so many people, there's always one. Them kids don't care about them books. They just gonna tear them up, you know, which may be true. Some kids don't like books. I know, they run, right? Short attention span, pew, they're off, right? Bird, squirrel, like they're, you know. But, you know, you just have to be consistent, and you have to give them access, and you have to give them exposure and be consistent with it. You can start off with maybe reading or talking about the pictures, 1 page a day, right? 1 page, just one. That's all I need is one, you know? Or you can read to them when they're eating. Turn off the TV, take away the tablet, so many distractions. While they're eating, we're gonna read while you eat. Maybe when they're taking a bath, I'm gonna read to you while you take a bath, right? Before they go to bed. That's the perfect opportunity to read as well. So you just find those small little pockets to, you know, do your best. Introduce them and, you know, be consistent about it. And, you know, hopefully through time, they will, you know, come through and, you know, enjoy loving books, basically. So that's my advice. So definitely being a resource to the community and just giving people access to Black literature, you know, storybooks. And if you want me to come out and do author visits, I would love to come out and do author visits with your facility or your organization, whatever the case may be, schools, daycares. I'm here for it. I really, really love going out and reading my book to kids. Teachers and parents are always so amazed about how engaged and how interactive and attentive their kids are when I read my book. If it's anything that I've learned, you know, it's so important to have, like, for me at least, manipulatives as a speech therapist, like things that they can touch and feel, and, you know, that you want them to be a part of what you're doing. So as I'm reading the book, the kids have an opportunity to come up and put numbers and fruit and vegetables on the board, and then we all collectively say sentences, we laugh, we clap. You know, it's a great time. It's truly a special experience. I have people emailing me all the time asking me to come back, and, you know, just sharing how much the kids love the story and how they're still talking about it, even though it was a year ago. Like, if you're an author and you're not doing author visits, you need to tap into that. And I wish there was some way for us to, like, bridge the gap, because sometimes it's a little difficult for authors, especially if you're self-published. I don't know if there's, like, a negative stigma about it if you're not, like, through a publishing agency or something, as if your book can't be amazing without that. But we definitely need to start pushing into these schools more, and, you know, showing these students what authors look like, right? You're an author can be your neighbor, an author can be your sister, you can be an author, right? It's the opportunities are limitless. So they need to see us. They need to see how we're talking, how we're dressing, how we're reading, how we're engaging, how we're, you know, supportive, how we're intrigued and seeking, you know, them to participate. So yeah, it's necessary. So lastly, what else do I want to share? So if you are interested, you can purchase my children's books on my website, www.tamiatscottseries.com. I have 2 storybooks, 2 activity books and coloring books, 2 double-sided puzzles, and a game board. I have a bundle set. If you don't want the bundle set, then you can purchase the books separately. I sign the books, and I put bubbles in the package and a worksheet that's super cute and fun. It's like matching. So yes, please support me. I would really love it. And I'm super excited to take this ride and journey with you guys. We'll see how far it goes, right? So if you've made it to the end, thank you very much. Thank you guys. I love you so much. Super excited. Definitely uncomfortable, but that's what life is all about. If you're comfortable, you're not living right. You're not growing. Okay, you need to grow. So grow with me. All right, make sure you share, like, comment, subscribe. If you're a parent, a teacher, whatever, subscribe. Support. We need you. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Bye.